Good morning. It's great to be with you. Yesterday we opened up our software Foundry here in Paris, so it's only natural to have our minds and machines here in Paris. This is the fourth year we've done it, and as Mark said, this is very much a journey that we see as important to the future of our company and a very big part about where we're going. Just a little bit on the world. So I think we just see a time period of slow growth, volatility, and populism. I think if you're a CEO or running a business of any kind, and if you're waiting for tailwind, you could be waiting for a long time. So our belief is you just have to keep investing, keep changing, and make your own future. And that's very much what we believe in and try to do at GE. I think about the company or describe the company on really 5 levels. We're kind of the world's biggest industrial infrastructure company. We very much believe in the strength of the horizontal, what we call the GE store, of sharing ideas across the company. The digital initiative we're going to talk about today is the biggest initiative inside the company today. I've worked for GE for 34 years. This is the biggest transformation in the history of the company. So it's quite serious. That's the way we treat it. In order to do that, you have to have a simpler, faster culture. So we think a lot about leadership and culture, and then we want to be valuable to our customers and to our investors, and all 5 of these things have to go together. Digital, again, you can call it Industry 4.0, the industrial internet, Internet of Things. I would urge you for the rest of the day just to drop all those words. None of them really matter. This is about productivity. Industrial companies need productivity. We averaged 4% productivity from 1990 to 2010. The average industrial company today is seeing 1% productivity. So we need something that's going to boost that to be more competitive and to drive more growth and job creation. And the merger of information and industry, this digital twin, that is a technical change that's very profound. So think about this not so much about buzzwords, but think about this as the next generation of productivity. We started this really in 2009, and just some principles, really. Outcomes matter most. So if you think about fuel efficiency, think about operational efficiency, think about safety, quality, better diagnostics. That's what the industrial internet has to be about. The industrial internet is going to be different than the consumer internet. The fact of the matter is when I get sick of my iPhone, I throw it away and buy another one. You're not going to do that with a gas turbine or a jet engine. So these are going to be essentially different rollouts and essentially different in how they go. Talent follows ideas. If you're an industrial company out there and you don't think you're good enough to attract a software engineer to come to work for your company, you're wrong. If you think you're old world, you're wrong. Talent follows ideas, and they'll follow the next idea, and this is the next idea. Devices matter, assets matter a lot, and how the industrial internet evolves. If you're an industrial company, you should be all about content. Content is not just for consumer media companies, but knowledge about your assets, knowledge about your supply chain, that's really important. When I talk about reform IT, I don't mean send you to reform school if you're an CIO. It's really reform the way you think about IT into really being a digital platform. IT leaders in industrial companies used to sit in the back of every meeting room. Now they have to sit in the front of every meeting room. Reform IT. Simplify the culture is absolutely essential. And I think at the end of the day, industrial companies have been partnering for generations. This is really about the ecosystem if you want to be successful. There's building blocks. Like I said, we didn't start here. We've been at this for 6 or 7 years. But you have to think about talent and culture, technology and outcomes. And I think in order to be really successful ultimately, you have to have a game plan for each one of these building blocks. So vertical domain, in order to make the industrial internet work in oil and gas, you have to know oil and gas. You have to know the domain. Technical skills, data scientists, that matters also. Speed, fast works, iteration. No matter how fast you think you are, this is going to be faster. Technology requires operating platforms, both digital twin, which simulates what the product can do, also having the ability to connect your IT with OT and cyber are extremely important. And the controls, the edge devices around your assets. This is going to be reinvented at the same time that, that software and analytics are being driven as well. And then with outcomes. There's going to be more service models. There's going to be more collaborations in terms of ecosystem. And really, again, driving productivity for our customers. That's what this has to all be about. So again, my contention is everybody in this room is going to have to do some iteration of everything that's here. You don't have to do it all yourself. You can build, you can partner, you can find different ways to do it, but this is going to be serious work to pull this off. Now I'll just kind of walk around some of the different technologies. Predict is our operating platform. We've decided to do our own operating platform as a company. It's industrial strength, it's cloud-based, it's really designed to sit on top of assets, facilitates machine learning, artificial intelligence, very dependent on edge devices and can really do a good job of integrating with the assets. But our approach is industrial strength operating platform, asset-centric, driving outcomes, open architecture, and really collaborative in nature. And this is called Predict in our world. So that's one of the foundational points that you'll hear for the rest of today. A digital twin. So this is really the combination of the analytics around a product and the product. We used to think about fleets of aircraft. We would think about the G90 fleet or the F-turbine fleet. Now we can distinguish individual assets. And this combination of analytics on top of physical assets is going to drive a whole new conversation around productivity. Things like no unplanned downtime, machine learning, asset recognition. If you're a radiologist, or even if you're in an airline, you only use maybe 10% of the information that the asset provides. So the ability to do machine learning in the cloud and driving new analytics and diagnostics around that is going to be really important. A condition-based repair, not repairing on cycles, but repairing on need. Being able to do as-a-service models are going to be important. Kind of lifing of parts, predicting how long a part lasts. It sounds, analytics-based lifing, it sounds boring or small. That's worth tens of billions of dollars in terms of the life of an asset. So there's a whole new vocabulary of productivity that's going to be developed as we go through this industrial internet experience. And then just the digital thread. All of us have IT departments. The idea is to line up the digitization we're doing inside our companies with the digitization we're doing outside our companies, and then making all the tools we're developing, making those available for our customers. So like all of you, we think about new product development, inquiry to order, how we ship our products, how we service our products, and then we drill down and build a common suite around, in this case, what I show is how we service our products. And what we're doing inside GE is we're using common tools across our power business, oil and gas business, locomotive business, aviation business, healthcare business, all based on Predict. So we've taken the IT inside the company and linked it with OT. And this is how we think we're going to get massive amounts of productivity in the company going forward. And then we're opening up all these tools over time to our customers. So this is the way we're thinking about, again, driving the building blocks and making digital successful for the long term. So those are some of the technology building blocks. What I thought I'd do now is just go through a couple examples of what we mean. The essence of the industrial internet is really asset performance management, what we call APM. This is really the getting assets connected, getting insights, and driving operations. So connections, insights, operations at its most rudimentary form. This ought to be out-of-the-box productivity for customers and ways to get started. And this is basically just taking sensors or edge devices, getting information, modeling it to drive performance. I thought I'd show a product we all recognize, which is a locomotive. We have a suite. What I show here is 8 applications. There's probably a dozen applications now. Each one is driving fuel performance, quality, safety. And then the beauty of the industrial world is very small changes drive huge paybacks for our customers. So 1% improvement in asset utilization is $800 million for the industry. Dwell, yield, velocity, these are huge. 1 mile of velocity is worth $200 million of profit for a Class 1 locomotive. It's a 10% boost on profitability just with 1 mile advantage. So small changes go a long way in the industrial internet, but the basic building block is asset performance management, APM. It's really essential in terms of how we think about the world. Being able to do post-processing in the cloud to drive operations optimization, this is huge. As I said earlier, the amount of data that an MR scanner or a CT scanner produces, radiologists on the site is going to use 10% of that information. There's a huge opportunity post-processing to model analytics in the cloud. And just GE's installed base, we process 45 million images a day. 45 million images a day. So this is a classic machine learning opportunity that can be driven inside the industry, but I would argue there's almost every industry that's got a common pattern to this. So, again, at its base, it says you can drive massive productivity by making radiologists more productive or systems more productive. You're going to make your system interoperable, but to be honest with you, just connectivity is maybe 5% of the battle. The other 95% is decision support. In the cloud, pattern recognition. An oncologist typically, this is data from the United States, but only 40% of cancers get staged the right way when the patient gets diagnosed. So more analytics are going to get people on better diagnostic pathways. So that's the value of the industrial internet. And then partnership for clinical applications. So again, asset performance management, operations optimization, these are two of the things that can really be essential. Now, just services. We have a $250 billion service backlog. This is a service microservices. This isn't for me. This is for a service shop manager, right? So a service shop manager now has at their fingertips a massive amount of usage data, experience data, the ability to do manage unplanned downtime, and so the ability to get analytics, not in headquarters, but getting analytics in front of, in our case, 20,000 field engineers is incredibly important. And our vision is to take these MRO tools, service tools, and make these available to our customers over time as well. So you have the same productivity tools at your fingertips that you would have sitting in an operation factory or any place else. So the ability to transfer these tools, to develop microservices is essential at the same time. And then lastly, I would talk about just this notion of more outcome-based selling. We have a platform built around our LED business called Current. This is kind of energy as a service. The ability to package assets, information, analytics, service, and financing is going to be an as-a-service model. And the general thing I would tell you is that in the industrial internet world, most fixed assets are going to be repackaged as a service operation. So you just have to be ready to see this whole transformation take place. So those are just some real-time examples of what we're doing inside the company. We want to bring it all to Europe. Our view is that in many ways, Europe has a very significant industrial base, really a very significant one. Basically the rules of the consumer internet were done someplace else. They were done in Seattle or Silicon Valley. But I think the iteration of the industrial internet, this battle could be won in Europe. Europe has all of the capabilities to be a tremendous leader in terms of where we go in this world. So that's our vision. And what we plan to offer here in the Digital Foundry is a fantastic customer toolkit, the ability to protect your data, because we know how important cyber is in this world, driving operational productivity. And we want to have the opportunity to work with you. And so we're in a great high-tech place here in Paris. We want you all to come and join us because, look, guys, this is a different world. The people that came to work for us in Silicon Valley, I hope they stay with GE forever, but I don't think that's what's in their mind. They want to come and work on nice new technology. But building an ecosystem helps retain people. And so it's really critical, I think, that we work together to build this kind of ecosystem in Paris and this kind of ecosystem in Europe. This is serious for us. So we're at more than $6 billion revenue. We're growing about 25% a year. We really view this as a way to drive customer outcomes first and foremost, accelerate productivity. We want to feed back the data back on our products and launch better products. And we want Predix to be part of the ecosystem as the industrial internet evolves over time. And look, this has given us inside GE call to arms to renew ourselves. We're a 140-year-old company. This is an immense call to arms to be both horizontal and vertical, to invest in new technology, to be faster in everything we do. So we view this as really exciting for the future of our company and a meaningful initiative. And like I said, in 34 years, this is the most important thing I've ever worked on, and we're quite serious about where it's going to go. I'm going to end just by saying, look, we are a big European company. We're 100,000 people in Europe. We're committed to the region. We're an exporter. We do R&D here. Every business is in Europe. So our sense of an exciting and a growing Europe is extremely important for the future of GE. And I think this is the way you'll see us talk about ourselves or our vision for what we think Europe can be in the GE context, but maybe even broader. We believe first and foremost that this has to be in the leading point of Industry 4.0, the industrial internet. Europe has to have a vision for that. That's clearly the vision we have for GE in Europe. We believe Europe can be a good exporter. You know, with the euro where we are right now, the combination of export financing, our cost competitiveness in Europe is equal to the United States. It's a long time since I've been able to say that. And that is, I think, opens up the door to drive exports. I think the future of lots of industries is still going to be decided in Europe. You know, for somebody my age who was an American who traveled the world, this is where we came to learn environmental investing as we were growing in our careers. And I'm equally convinced that in the next ages that people like Isabel and others in the energy sector are going to reinvent what the energy sector is going to look like around the world. I think in healthcare, life sciences, we have lots of operations in Europe, and we see that as being really a core industry going forward in the future. And then just the ability to build good ecosystems of universities, small business, large business, has to be part of the future. And our only request is that Brussels gives us regulations that can promote competitiveness and growth in the future. And that's, if we can do all that stuff, I think we see a lot of optimism about where we can be and how we can grow. So it's an honor to have you here. It's a fantastic chance to partner with our customers. And I want to thank you again for your attendance. Great to be here in Paris. And with that, let me introduce Bill Rue. Thank you.